Hope you all are having a good day today. This is Prashant Ranjan, Manager at Incubation Center, Banaras Hindu University, welcoming all of you to today's webinar session. To those of you who are attending the session for the first time, AIC-BHU has been organizing IELS, that is Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lecture Series, for the past 1.5 years, where entrepreneurs, industry experts come together to share their journey and experience with us. Today's session is a webinar session in this same series. We have a very special speaker today, Mr. Abhijit Barhate. He is currently the director at Drill Insight, a technology-based consulting company based in Australia. Mr. Abhijit has experience of around 15 years in full life cycle of oil and gas field development, from drilling to exploration, through startup and up to production. Through his career, while working on oil fields, he found his passion to leverage new technologies such as AI and data analytics in oil and gas industry. Going forward, he developed software and mathematical models to address key challenges in the industry. Mr. Abhijit founded Drill Insight, which is an independent product and consulting services company based in Perth, operating in Asia Pacific since 2015. He's also an entrepreneur and has recently ventured into startup industry with the purpose of helping upcoming entrepreneurs. So without taking much of your time, let us invite Mr. Abhijit to join us and start the webinar. Abhijit, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you for the introduction and giving all of us some background. First of all, thanks everyone for joining this webinar. I hope this webinar would be interactive. I would like to limit what I'm going to speak, but I'll be more objective so that you don't feel that it's a waste of time. And of course, it will be a two-way interaction. So I would welcome all of your questions. Any questions you can ask, because I believe questions cannot be wrong, answers can be wrong. Yes, and thank you. Thanks, Prashant. Thank you, Rajiv sir and Paritosh, for giving me this opportunity to probably to learn more from other entrepreneurs. I can see that a lot of entrepreneurs have joined. And it's a good sign that in India, India is shining again, and hopefully we will, because of this entrepreneurship and because of this positive vibe, all the post-corona syndrome everyone is going through, sort of a panic situation everyone is going through, they will come out. So without further ado, I'll quickly share my screen with you. So I've just prepared a small presentation for you guys. So basically, as I've said, I will be more objective oriented. So I have added a few links, for entrepreneurs to access. And again, I'm happy to share the slides with you after the presentation. So no issues on that. Also, let me quickly. Yeah. So can all of you can see the screen? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen. Please.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So as Prashant has mentioned, we have started Drill Insight in pretty much the history of Drill Insight goes back to year 2015, when a bunch of guys with entrepreneurship mindset, consultants, a few consultants, they have conspired and they have started Drill Insight. So basically, before starting Drill Insight, I have got mainly I have got experience in working with operators in oil and gas and mainly technology service providers. My background, I'm a chemical engineer. I did bachelor's in chemical engineering and master's in petroleum engineering from University of Western Australia in Perth. That was probably 18 years ago, I think. So since then, so when I finished my studies in 2008, but when I have joined Masters of Petroleum Engineering in UWA, I started working with a service provider for oil and gas, that is Baker Hughes. So mainly my role was going offshore, that means in the ocean, and try to find the oil or assist the operator like ONGC finding the oil, and there are some technical challenges that we had to deal with, but pretty much it was a hands-on experience. When I went there, I had got this idea that that theoretical understanding of oil and gas, I must confess. But then those guys who were working on the shop floor, they didn't have a degree, but they taught me so much. I have learned hands-on. I've got really hands-on experience on in oil and gas at that time, and I really cherish that experience. What happened was when I was working offshore, I instinctively, because of my chemical engineering background, I instinctively saw that there are many issues they can be tackled by using physics-based modeling solution. So I have indulged more in Excel, trying to create macros, Excel spreadsheets, some sort of a code, basic code. And my idea was just to streamline the efforts and maybe auto-generate the reports. If there are certain predictive models, if I can create, that would help the team, I would use to do that. Company didn't pay me for that, but out of my interest, I did that. And as you see, you never know the things we do with a good intention. It's like a boomerang, they will come back. And that kind of effort without any expectation I had put in, ultimately it helped me in the later part of my career when we started Drill Insight. So because of applying some modeling techniques using physics and using data analytics, I understood where the industry is leading. And that was, I'm talking about in 2010. And so then, because of I developed aptitude in modeling. Subsequently, I joined operators. It is one of the largest operator in Australia, Woodside Petroleum, just like ONGC in India. It's quite big. It gave me a good it gave me a good understanding of good experience, good platform. But then, because this platform is for entrepreneurs, let me confess, earlier I was very happy. But then after maybe 6 months or so, things started becoming monotonous. And nothing wrong in doing job or something like that, because it was a good experience. But then for me, somewhere I wanted to contribute more, and somewhere now I can look back and see what was happening to me at that time. I was trying to find venue to express what I was having within me at that time, what sort of talent, aptitude. I was trying to find the way. And because we work in larger organizations, so it has its own challenges, its own possibilities. So then I saw, because I was a staff, and then I was a staff, I was pretty much all the time worried about what people will think about me, what I should say in the meeting, what should I not say, and this kind of insecurities. But I saw during one of the meetings, I saw this bunch of guys, they were speaking their mind, and I was curious, and I spoke to them, and then I discovered, okay, these are consultants. Okay, these are independent consultants, and they maybe that was the reason they were speaking their mind, pretty much independent. So I thought, why can't I become a consultant? And then the journey started. Then I became a consultant within the company, and then I started going to the networking events. And then I started open up more, understand more about the challenges in oil and gas. And that paved the way for Drill Insight. Then a few like-minded consultants joined together and started Drill Insight. So this was the journey. This was a little bit of background. So what we do with Drill Insight is we have, earlier we were a consulting company. Now still we are a consulting company, but now we provide technology support to the clients like Woodside, Chevron, Shell, these companies. Now the technology support we use, we have a partnership with the technology providers globally. We have master service agreements with the clients and also the partnership agreements with these companies. Also, we have our in-house tools that we use as per the need of the time. So using these advanced technologies based on data analytics, artificial intelligence, and physics-based solutions, we try to assist clients with improving performance and predicting if there are any hazards the operator will encounter when during the drilling operation. So in oil and gas, there are 4 phases. First is exploration phase, where operator would they detect, okay, what is the potential zone where the hydrocarbon or oil and gas may reside beneath the earth. And then there is a technique we call drilling, a scientific drilling, where we target those beneath the earth. We target those zones to produce hydrocarbons or produce oil and gas. So that is drilling. So during that, because of the high pressure and temperature situation beneath the earth, it's like a bomb. We have to control that situation all the time. So there are many issues that can happen. And using data analytics, AI, and physics-based solution, now we can predict if there are any issues which will occur, and it will save the time. It will save, of course, it will save lives, because oil and gas can be very hazardous, and it can also improve the performance, because you see, for example, one oil and gas well can cost easily $70 million, $80 million, like that. So it's a very expensive operation, very capital intensive operation. So any day save, if let's say by using our technique we save 2 days, we can easily say, okay, we have saved $5 million, like that. That's how it works. So there are different, I would like to generalize it, but then there are different technologies, again, we can use with drilling, but ultimately we play with these 3 elements or 3 tools, that is AI, data analytics, and physics-based, and thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is a part of physics and chemistry. So now this is an interesting thing. Earlier we started as a consulting company, just like a routine consulting companies trying to assist operators using some in-house solution or their solution. But later on, we devised a strategy or a business plan. We identified venues where we can make a difference. And then we saw, okay, there are certain technologies we can use to address KPIs of operators. And again, as this I have experienced by myself, we came across so many challenges. Every day is a challenge. But my experience is every challenge we come across, it sort of opens the new doorway to the new possibilities. Depend on how you take it and how you prepare for it. So that's my experience. So what I mean by that is all drilling advisors with such a big experience you see, you might be wondering how come these big experienced guys, they are working for us, despite being a small company. So what happened was in 2014-15, there was a big challenge in oil and gas industry faced because of the downturn and because of the low oil prices. And a lot of people lost their jobs, and that sort of created that actually led companies or operators to go into the technology space to save the cost, because they lost their skilled resource. They wanted to replace that with the technology, and that was a perfect opportunity for Drill Insight. And so we recruited all these experienced, highly skilled people from the industry, and we empowered them by giving them very high top-notch skills and training. They had to go through a rigorous training. And then the result was very obvious that we had a very good success after that. So that actually, being a small company in Perth, it sort of gave us a very good leverage of being a global company, assisting other clients globally and using and from our Perth office. So that was great. So we have our own quality management standards that we follow for consulting. That includes project management, technology, as well as skilled resource, and the quality management, in-house quality management standard we use. And these are a few companies whom we have either subcontracted or directly we have partnership agreements or contracts with these companies that we have worked in the past, and a few of them we are currently working with. Our head office is in Perth on St. George Terrace. Yeah, now here's the interesting things. So these are the questions I was posed, or I was asked to think about, and it was a very interesting. These questions were very interesting, very thought-provoking, and it actually helped me to dig more deeper, to contemplate more, and to do a little bit of research. So let's go one by one. So first question was, what is the current ecosystem in Australia? So I'll be generalized. It can be applied for any sort of a sector, because I understand all of you who are the attendees. You may have entrepreneurship ventures in different sectors. So pretty much the ecosystem in Australia works like this. They have integrated the efforts from the government, private organizations, research institutes, and universities, and also there are institutions like NERA, that is National Energy Resources Australia, that is for oil and gas or energy, you can say. But other sectors, they have their own sort of an outlet, which is essentially started by the efforts by funding of the government. So government starts its own venture. For example, if you see the second row, NERA, that is National Energy Resources Australia, it is again an effort from the government to assist small business sectors, innovative companies, startups, to have more dialogue with the industry, with the research institutes, and collaborate to get funding. And also they assist these companies to globally take them to the different countries where there is an opportunity, and these guys, they get opportunity to present in front of the tier 1 companies in those countries. So it's very homogenized, or it's a very holistic approach Australia is having. But and it is good that all of you are startups. This is a good sort of era where you can see these efforts, and these efforts have been channelized last 2-3 years. So so I would say maybe you can make use of it. So these are the links I have given. Now business, let me open and give you some idea. So let me open business.gov.au. Okay, so this business.gov.au, it's a effort from the government, and it's a very channelized, very much integrated effort where all the startups, its registration is so simple. They can just start, they can register their business, and they can have the ABN, they can pay taxes, all the business related information. If they need any mentorship, any mentorship programs startups wanted to go through, there are programs available. There are accelerating and commercialization programs which can give startups opportunity to for funding and mentorship by the industry experts or subject matter experts. And there is a separate link available for grants and program, so that you can access later. And then there are experts and advice provided. So yeah, it's a pretty much well integrated effort, I would say. Hello, Prashant.
Yes, sir.
Are you? Can you see the screen? I just wanted to check because I was idle in the meantime, so I just wanted to check. Sorry about that.
No issue, sir. We are not able to see the link that you have created, that business.gov.au. You clicked that link, but the screen was showing the PPT.
I see. Screen was still showing the PPT. Maybe let me check. Yeah. Now, can you see?
No, sir. Still, we are able to see your PPT. Please click on the website.
Still, you can see you see the PPT. Right?
Probably you have to pause your screen sharing mode and or stop it and reshare the screen with that.
Yeah, we can do the same. Yeah, I think that will work. Now, can you see?
Now it's visible.
Now it's visible. Okay, thank you. Thanks, man.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can you see the now? Can you see business.gov.au?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
now you can see. Okay.
Yes.
So I was sorry about that, guys. So as I was stating earlier, so any startup registration is simple here. There is a very well integrated effort from the Australian government. And I will show you, I have opened quite a lot of tabs. I will quickly go through how the state government and the federal government, they work together. So apart from registration for startups, any business related information is available. If they want to have some sort of advice from the subject matter experts, they can have it for free. There are several grants and programs available for startups. And depending on the situation of the startup, depending on their products, so that you can go through. So this slides or this deck, I will definitely share with you guys later. So I will hand over, Prashant, I will just send it to you, then you can pass it on to the guys whosoever is interested.
We will mail it to everyone.
Yeah, yeah, and there is a link available here in the presentation, so you can quickly go through the link. So maybe I would not waste time here because I would like to know what questions people have. So I'll quickly run through the different links which are available here. So everything is linked. So I will now again, I think Prashant, I have to stop this and I have to start the presentation, right?
You just start with the presentation. If it doesn't work, then probably that you have to do that.
Yeah, is it? Can you see the presentation now?
No.
So I think it's better. I will send this presentation later. So for now I will stop it. Otherwise, it will stop. It should not. It will hamper the rhythm. So I will stop sharing now, and I will share the screen.
Yes, sir. Now the PPT is visible.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I was mentioning about this website, that business.gov.au. Guys, you go through it, go through the website. It is very much well informative and it is very much intuitive and informative. You will know what you are going to search and you will know what information you are going to get through different tabs. Any questions, you can send me an email, not a problem. Apart from business.gov.au, there is as I said, there is an effort from government to integrate or to make sure all the research institutes, universities, companies who have got issues, technology companies, startups, they come together in this platform and by collaboratively, they get the funds to solve certain problem, and that creates an IP. So that is what NERA does. But this is especially for energy sector. For other sectors, there are other institutions started by government, so which you can find it online. This is a research institute, very much well known. They have produced Nobel laureates. This is CSIRO. They drive their own SME Connect and other funding programs. The link is available. You can go through the link. And there is a department of this is very important. Maybe I'll quickly. So this is a Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, very much well-known organization. They have their own integrated efforts to have joint partnership with the other companies, other countries, work on the policy matters, which suits different countries. For example, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, it is very much in communication with Niti Aayog in India to draft policy matters, which I will touch base on that later. So they have sort of a plan up to 2035. So this is, again, go through the website. I have provided you a link. There is a Austrade. It is specially for trading. Go through that. And also, apart from that, below you see there is a global innovation linkage program that is for global technology-based companies to provide funding. There is an acceleration and commercialization program that you can find in business.gov.au. They are in the grants tab, and there is a Asia Business Grant. So my point was, these links can give you a good idea about how the ecosystem has been developed in Australia. So there is an integration with government. The government funded institutions like NERA, research institutions like CSIRO, and their own entrepreneurship ventures, IP related, means they can generate IP. They encourage startups, and sometimes depending on the case, sometimes they have a joint IP share. Sometimes startups, they get their own IP back. So, but essentially, this is a good, very well drive and efforts by the government to promote entrepreneurship. So moving ahead. So emerging sectors for the entrepreneurs. What I think energy, next era will be energy, and a clean energy, carbon neutral energy. I have though despite I'm working with oil and gas, but I must say that I believe solar and hydrogen will have a future. I see, including us, we are transforming Drill Insight from oil and gas to the other. We are venturing into the other sectors like hydrogen, and hydrogen mainly. We feel hydrogen. We feel hydrogen will have a immediate future, and then solar. Of course, it depends on the technology, what kind of technology we are going to develop in solar. But I have very high hopes for solar and wind. Cybersecurity is one of the aspects. Cybersecurity will have a great future because it's still a dormant stage technology compared with the other technologies they have developed. Cybersecurity, it's like a layer. Right now, it is such a dormant state, and it is such an emerging sector and eye-catching for any entrepreneur, including us. That cybersecurity, sky is the limit, because you see, if you take any sector, energy sector, power sector, IT, there are increasingly high level of cyber attacks. There are cyber attacks, issues with the integration of the data, or security related issues. I feel what happens with this is, because of these issues, and there are so many sectors available, always we need a layer of security. And this layer of security, now companies have started working towards it. I think there is a company called, I think you might be knowing this already. There is a power related company. There is a wind power related company. Can't remember. Maybe I'll share that with Prashant, but they are doing incredibly well in cybersecurity space. As you know, data is the new oil. Data, again, there's a lot of buzzword like data analytics, big data is going on in the industry, but essentially what data is, it can be put together with 4 different categories. First is data management. So first is data gathering, data management, then analyzing the data and interpreting the data. It goes through these 4 different cycles, and there are different technologies available in the market, but again, it has got very high, it is emerging sector, of course. Automation, all the monotonous work that we might be doing right now, I think it will be automated. In fact, you might be working towards it in fact. So automation, in fact, we are also working towards automation in oil and gas. Space and automobile is especially the emerging sector for India. Again, automating, when I say automobile, using alternative source of energy, mainly solar, I think it will have a good future. Horticulture, so plant-based agriculture, I will say. Sorry, tree-based agriculture, so fruit-based agriculture. This is one of my interest areas, horticulture. Vietnam did incredibly well. I remember scientists in Vietnam 20-30 years ago, they studied in Indian universities. Whatever the theoretical knowledge they put together in practice, and you see Vietnam is doing really well in horticulture space. We should have done that. I feel we can stop farmers' suicides if we go from this mundane only 3 to 4 crops that we take in a year. Rather than that, we can take variety of crops, fruits using horticulture. Organic, it can be converted into textile, food, footwear. I think organic, there is an increasing in the countries like Australia and US, there is increasing demand for organic based textiles and footwear or the food. So organics will have a future. Health and well-being, it can be our IP, India's IP. Yoga. Over here, every nook and corner, you can see this yoga institutions or yoga-based health and well-being clubs. You can see here also. So it's a very emerging sector for India, for that matter. Australia-India cyber and critical technology partnership. So the question was, how this partnership will help both the countries. Australia, because we have long-term partnership, as I said, up to 2035 with India, Australia, cyber and critical technology partnership. Australia will be looking on the positive note. Australia will be looking into tourism. They would like more efforts from India for tourism, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and investment. As I see, even I meet people also here. People, especially the investors, they want to invest in infrastructure in India, whether it is roads, the buildings or towers, malls. They would like to invest in infrastructure, provided they get a good returns, of course. But then there is an increasing tendency from Australia to invest in infrastructure, especially in northeast sector. There is a lot of mining related activities going on in India. So of course, companies in Australia, they are looking towards it. Agriculture, Australian companies would like to see if there is any joint effort in agriculture where produce from Australia, it can be going to the Indian market. And again, there is a very good opportunity for cold storage, and if we can do it well. And of course, Australia, because of its weather, right now it is taking a lot of agriculture and fruit related produce from Vietnam and other neighboring countries. Why can't India? India can be a very good exporter. In fact, Australia wants that, but then right now there are some issues in India in terms of security related issues or other issues. So hopefully we will sort out this policy matter in India at the moment, and so that we can export it to Australia. For India, in terms of channeling its efforts, which will help India selling it to Australia, I think space, maritime security, technology, different facets of technology, skilled workforce, defense. And India, of course, will welcome foreign direct investment from Australia. And again, India would like to export its health and well-being aspects to Australia. It can be a very good sort of brand for us to position ourselves in front of Australia. Again, I have provided you the link. You can see International Relations, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. You can go through it. The policy document is there already. In fact, I have got in my collection. I will send it to Prashant. So I have got both the policy documents from India as well as Australia. So what aspects, how it will be, it's going to benefit, this partnership is going to benefit the entrepreneurs. Of course, AI, in terms of communication, people, of course, 5G and 6G, there is, I'm not the expert here, but that's what I have heard, and that next generation telecommunications will, there will be a lot of research in this area. For entrepreneurship is a good opportunity. Data integration and management, interpretation, data related technologies, of course, quantum computing. Drill Insight is has partnered with the two companies. They work in quantum computing space. And apart from that, blockchain and big data, you must be knowing. So these are the emerging technologies I feel might help entrepreneurs. So post-COVID, how entrepreneurship and innovation will help in towards digital economy. I think how entrepreneurship and innovation will help is, right now there is a disconnect you see between rich and poor, and even the market economy. Now we have adopted market economy. See, I'm an entrepreneur myself. When I was growing up, nothing wrong in socialization, but there was a lot of, now I look back and see, even including me, there was a lot of stigma attached to the industries or this socialism. But then eventually we have adopted market economy. And then for market economy, now we see a little bit of disparity, but it will eventually go because of a lot of innovation, ingenuity, and entrepreneurship. Because by the very nature itself, entrepreneurship is more collaborative. It will encourage inclusive economics. It will also, it will make automatically, by the very nature of itself, it can integrate efforts, or it can integrate efforts in the economy between the different stakeholders which participate in the market economy, such as government participation, big companies or corporates, direct participation, SMEs, startups. So all the confluence can happen because of because of the passion that entrepreneur or any innovation related companies can bring into the market. And it can positively, it can affect the market. Automatically, it will, as it involves several stakeholders, and it works on the future-based technology. Sustainable development would be the key ultimately. So it will ultimately go towards that direction. Ultimately, what this innovation-based technology or startups they do is, ultimately they improve the performance, efficiency with minimum resources. Because of so many issues are happening because of this COVID, a lot of people have lost jobs, etc. But again, more jobs will be created because of more venues the entrepreneurship and innovation-based companies would bring into the market, I believe. Closing data gaps. Now, this is a good aspect. You can certainly look into it. Closing data gaps. What I mean by that is, I see here, I see the policy documents by the government of Australia. What they have said is they wanted to close the data gaps. Now you see any chain of thought or any chain of any value chain, any supply chain. For example, agriculture sector, from farmer to middlemen or not middlemen, maybe farmers cooperative in the future, farmers produce, farmers cooperative, they come to the market, they have their own digitization unit. They sell it to the big corporates, or they sell it by themselves in the market, or different cities, or maybe they sell export. So all these different key holders or stakeholders, they work in this whole, for example, chain of, let's say, farmer produce from crop to the end customer. There are different aspects in the different time zone. Now, how we can remove any efficiency, inadequacy, ambiguity, or error or miscommunication by identifying the patterns. Now, how we can identify the patterns? By using the data, of course. So we can use the data, human behavior, some sort of a statistical analysis we can do, and we can certainly improve any sector using this technology-based solution, I believe. Whether it is blockchain or big data, you can call it. And after that, in the end, carbon neutral economy would be the future, I believe. Despite our work in oil and gas, I think carbon neutral economy would be the future. Approaching Australian investors. This is a key, maybe you go through these different documents. I have sent it to you. I have already provided a link. There is a key link, a third row, Access Asia Business Grant. Go through it. accelerating commercialization is one of the key. Again, Australia-India Cyber and Critical Technology Partnership. There is a round which has recently finished, but again, they will come up with a new round. Now, so there is a think tank behind this. Okay, all these grants for Asia or for India's Australia-India Cyber and Critical Technology Partnership. So there is a think tank which is working behind, that is Australia-India Business Council Board. So Australia-India Council Board. There's a link provided at the very end. You can go through it. There is also Australia-India Strategic Research Fund, which is allotted every year. Ultimately, the grants are given using this fund. There are some challenges, but governments are working towards it. So these are the different aspects or different links you can go through, and you can see how the investment is done and how the things are moving forward. Again, if you consider angel investors, okay, now angel investors, they don't come in here, but for example, if you clear, let's say round 1 in India Cyber and Critical Technology Partnership, you will be given subject matter experts. You will be open through that program. You will be open to the new, to the angel investors who will see your pitch, and then they will decide whether to invest or not. That is, this normally happens. But apart from that, I have got my personal spreadsheet that I normally follow. If I want to go through to the investors, I've got my own spreadsheet. It's a very detailed spreadsheet. Again, I will see if I can share that with Prashant, and then he can forward it to you. There is a challenge, which I will come back to that later. Again, through policy, we are working towards it, but there is a challenge, which I can come back later. The policy amendment, and exactly this is the question, the policy amendment and the collaborations to encourage entrepreneurship. Now, I will send the PDF copy of policy amendments, of current policy, and what amendments are required. Okay, so the amendment I feel is right now the very structure of funding is such that it needs one Australian business, it needs one startup or any institution from India, and then it needs one research institute, Australian Research Institute. I think what amendments to be done is there should be right now it's like a global startup. Apart from this Australia-India Council Board grant, there are other grants where global based technology provider they encourage. But why can't we can put an effort in the amendment, and we can certainly encourage Indian startups, especially for Indian startups. So it will be like Indian startup, an Australian business, and Australia or India Research Institute. Again, it is subject to the eligibility that we can state later, but that is certainly possible. Right now, it is not so. For example, an Indian company, if they want to promote their product here, they need to have a collaborative agreement with the Australian business. That is the need of the hour right now. Maybe it's good for Drill Insight, but then in the future, there should be more openness, and hopefully this will happen. But again, you see, it is rightly so, because imagine an Indian startup, if they collaborate with the Australian business, of course, they have to pay the taxes. They earn revenue. So for them to register here, they need to have their own entity in Australia. So for example, let's say Drill Insight Cooperative Limited in India should have an entity, Drill Insight Private Limited, in Australia. So these are the issues, rightly so, because of the tax purposes. But I feel there should be a clear-cut understanding. If there is a policy document between the countries, we can make sure that Indian company can pay taxes in India. Something like that can be worked out, I'm pretty sure. And two countries are working towards it. Now, we should strengthen Australia-India Infrastructure Council, because you see, Australian investors, they are looking into Southeast Asia, and India can be a very good potential, as I said, potential still. But to gain an outcome, we need to have some sort of a clear-cut understanding of what returns investors here should get from infrastructure, investing in the infrastructure. there should be a joint research fund between the universities, I feel. Right now, it is not so. And between the two, like, for example, IIT or BHU in India and maybe UW here, they should have some joint efforts where PhDs from BHU, they can come here and they can do their postdoctorate. They should be encouraged more, I feel. And we should build a platform similar to like some sort of a website between the two countries where they can throw some challenge, they can give some funds, and they can create, they can develop, they can sort of arrange hackathon or code fest or something like that. And there should be more engagement between the CEOs or SMEs, forums, investors. They can meet, they should meet quite often through conferences. There should be more integrated efforts that will help two countries moving forward, and especially the entrepreneurs. That will help a lot, I feel. I think this is it. So Prashant?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you for the detailed answers to the question that we have previously given to you. I would like to invite any of the participants if you have any query or question.
Any questions?
Hello.
Yes, Sumit, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. Very good afternoon to you, and having for wonderful interaction on the entrepreneurship startup and the scope of startup in Australia. Sir, I am from the AIC and I incubate at AIC-MFIE-IM-BHU. So parallelly, I am doing like research also PhD at IIT-BHU also in the biomedical department. So you were telling about that exchange program of research scholar visiting and postdoc position so that they can came up with some good product and have some hackathon like this. So we have, our company has one product that we want to do some some lab pilot study testing that we are not getting here at the current facility. So it's in the field of piezoelectric energy harvesting. So we have piezoelectric material. So we have invented and patented a material that we want to fabricate for the electric generation using the physical movements. So we have designed a material and fabricated also, and we have tested that material also, and it's already also patented also from the IIT-BHU. So I want to do some R&D work of that before launching the final product in the market. So regarding this, I just want your help that what are the possibility in Australia regarding my field so that I can explore the industry who are already working in this field, or can explore some lab area also in the energy harvesting field using the piezoelectric material.
I see. So Sumit, so does your technology convert mechanical motion into energy or electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good, sir, new research, and it's already some of the like research journals and patents already filed, and it's also granted. But to make that material and the product wise, we want to do some pilot study testing of that material, and I have some prototype ready also that. So just exploring some lab and some facilities of industry so that I can come to their locations and do some testing of my material on the instrument or any product, so that we can come to final launching of that product of our material. So we are using this material.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. We will have material to fabricate on any surface, and that surface will convert in the electrical energy.
I see. And this can be especially applied to the biomedical, you said?
Biomedical, maybe the first field in the biomedical. Yeah, right. Biomedical and material science department.
I see. And the IP is owned by, have you registered a company, or does the IP owned by?
I have already, it says to 1.5 years of my company. I am already I am incubated at AIC-BHU and AIC Technology Private Limited, my company. Yes, sir.
Have you approached any university for this?
So I'm already in the university abroad, not in India, abroad.
Yeah, correct.
Sir, one university I have sent a mail in London, but the professor, he has not replied on that time. Like before 1 year, I have sent the mail to work in their lab, but he has not replied the mail. So I am just looking what is the possibility in Australia. Is there any like industry or any like platform where you can go and to the next level of this product, sir?
Okay. Can you do one thing? I will send, because there are several links I have shared. I'm pretty sure there is an Asian business and technology funding link that I have shared in one of the slides. Can you go through that first? Yeah. And in case if you're not eligible, if you see your company is not eligible maybe for that, if in case, maybe you can drop me an email and then I will take it to UWA. Because I know a few professors there, and you can also, I can see if I can approach CSIRO as well. You yourself take a look at CSIRO. I have already sent a link. They have their own funding as well. So certainly you can see if there are any subject matter experts in that area. You can approach them, or through the funding, if you think you are eligible, maybe you can apply. Any questions you can ask me, not a problem. You can send me an email. I'll just quickly share.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Any other question?
No, sir. This was, thank you for this wonderful reply. So you have sent the mail ID, sir, in the chat box?
Oh, maybe I'll forward that later anyway. Because anyway, guys will, if they have this presentation, they
fine.
They can go through the link.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Rajesh, sir. I think someone wants to ask a question, I suppose. But Pankaj Soni.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, Abhijit, again.
Thanks. Thank you, Rajesh, sir. Thank you for taking some time.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I hope there's no more questions. So
we'll mail.
So if there's any more questions which are coming up, we'll see to it that it is mailed to you.
Okay, sure.
So that you can respond to it.
Sure, no problem.
I take this opportunity to really thank Abhijit Barhate, sir, for sparing us valuable time and having a discussion with our incubators. I hope it was a very fruitful session. I was just going through the question answer sessions, so it was really wonderful that you have clarified most of the queries of our incubators, and probably if there are any more questions, it would be sent to you by mail. And I hope that the participants also take this opportunity of having a discussion with you and discuss it as and when on a one-to-one basis wherever it is required, and might be through AIC, the whole lot would be sent to you so that you can respond to it. So it was really wonderful, and thank you very much for sparing a lot of time. And I also thank the participants who have joined us for this particular session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.